What's up, everybody? It's your boy Chaos. So welcome to a new episode of Take It to the Table. I am joined by none other than the regular guest of the show, Soul. Welcome to the back to the show. Wait, no, actually, could you go and get Soul, please? He's meant to be on. He's meant to be on the show right now. I don't know who you are, Soul, but yeah, can you get him,
Well,
please?
I'm
We have
just
an intruder.
Yeah, I'm like Damien Sandow to the Miz, pretty much.
Okay. You're a doppelganger, basically. Okay,
Pretty
cool.
much. I can't be everywhere at once with my demand. I've got to make some budget cuts.
No, I'm joking, but yeah, how you doing today? How you doing, Soul? It's been a minute.
Good, pretty good. Fucking drunk as shit. Had a good few shots of whiskey this morning. Always on the Corona as well. Yeah, well, you got to start good. It's a Scottish mentality. You don't start with a low alcohol level. That high shit high.
Do you brush your teeth with a jar of Jack Daniels or something? Like, it must.
No, that's a good idea though. So I might start doing that tomorrow.
Flipping hell. Anyway, welcome back to the Soul Show. Soul.
Yeah, that's my show. Always was my show.
Yeah. Moving swiftly on. And of course, last but certainly not least, Ignacio. Welcome back, Ignacio. How you doing?
Pretty good. Ready to get going. See what was on in the world of wrestling. A lot of stuff impacting the wrestling scene. So ready to get in with it.
Of course. Yeah, we got a jam-packed episode for you guys. We are going to be obviously delving into the situation with Naomi and Sasha Banks. If you've been living under a rock, then they are currently suspended from WWE. We're going to get Soul's take on it because Ignacio obviously gave his two twos about it in the last episode, but we're going to get Soul's take on it, and obviously the more developing story. We're going to be talking about WWE potentially quietly rumored to be ending the brand split, and do you think it's a good idea? And of course, our friend Ignacio was at last week's episode of Dynamite. So he's obviously going to give us his thoughts on how the show was, and of course there was some madness that happened at one of the tapings, which we'll obviously get into, and I want to obviously get his take on it because I've been hearing some different takes of the outcome of it. But anyway, like I said, jam-packed episode. Without further ado, let us take it to the table. Oh, that was technical difficulties there, but anyway, there we go. I love that little flex.
Oh, fuck.
Now the meat man there, Jesus Christ.
Butch. But yeah. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna start off pretty much be talking about the rumors about basically WWE potentially ending the brand split. I believe it was it Brian Alvarez that basically said that yeah, I know you have your thoughts on him, but basically it looks like that it's all but confirmed. There's they're looking to possibly end the brand split. There was a huge hint at that on last Monday's episode as of this recording. Obviously the Usos were there. They are the new unified tag team champions after beating RK Bro on the week prior on SmackDown, but Sami Zayn was there. For quite a lengthy amount of time. It's both, if it's not the Usos, then it's Roman Reigns, numerous superstars bouncing off each other's shows. So they haven't really been truly faithful to the actual brand split for quite some time. They always try to find some loopholes. Remember the Invitational thing that they would try to do?
Like the superstar shakeup.
It wasn't the superstar shakeup. There was one where was it 3 superstars from each? Only 3 superstars from each.
Oh, the wild card rule.
Yeah, the wild card. Yes. There was another invitational where probably can only be used like 3 or 4 times a year or whatever it is. That
they've got like the fucking talent's got passports out, and they've got you've got 2 Raw stamps. You've only got 1 Raw stamp left, boy.
Yeah, it was. It was really weird. So for the longest of time, they haven't really been faithful to it. Obviously, the executives, both USA and Fox, they prefer to have exclusivity. So obviously, if you want to see a certain superstar, then you must go and tune in on Fox, or vice versa with USA. But yeah, it looks like they're looking to pretty much be done with the brand split is this the second time?
think so. Second or
Yeah,
third. Isn't it?
Second
or third time. Yeah. That's so I just wanted to know, get your guys' takes on, do you think that this is a good move for WWE to do this kind of brand split, and what's the advantages or disadvantages? Do you prefer it not being a brand split, or do you prefer it being a brand split? Well, let me get your thoughts. Run it by me. Let's take it to the table. Let's take it to the table.
Ooh. Yeah, you said
it. You want to go first?
Ignacio, you go first, man. I need to get more alcohol.
I go first. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it hasn't been much of a brand split since the inception of the brand split back. What was it? 2003. We had the first one. 2004, maybe.
3 or 4.
It's probably been about 15 years or so since it's been a true brand split where talent was showcased strictly on SmackDown and the other talent strictly on Raw, and it was a way to get new talent exposed to on television into the crowd and to build new talent. But they haven't done that in years. They've featured the same talent on both shows, especially at the top of the card for however long, 10, 15 years. So it hasn't been much of a brand split at all. And then you mentioned USA and Fox arguing about, they've gone back and forth for the past couple of years. Like, why is Brock Lesnar on SmackDown? We want Brock Lesnar. Why is Roman Reigns on Raw or SmackDown? We want Roman Reigns over here. We want this person there. So they're the ones, if they're deciding to truly end the brand split, like I believe they already have and they've practiced that for years, then USA and Fox only fueled the fire. I think the brand split's a good idea if they dig their heels in and actually exercise what the original ideal was to highlight new talent and top talent and quit switching back and forth to shows. Every year or every other year, they always say, no, we're going to stay true to the brand split. It's going to be exclusivity as far across the board with regard to what talent is drafted to Raw and SmackDown and so forth. It never works out. Couple weeks, in some cases, months later, we're seeing shows, talent switching brands, especially at the top. So they never stay true to what they say. I would love to see. And everybody has an issue with the authority figure storyline or idea. The authority figure doesn't have to be necessarily a heel authority figure. They don't have to be a part necessarily of any storyline, like the way they're playing out with it right now with Adam Pearce. You can have an authority figure like a general manager and so forth on Raw and SmackDown, and just keep them exclusive to those brands and make them just like a real life general manager on or a real life authority figure on a sports team, like in football, soccer, baseball, or what have you. Somebody that commands authority and the talent has to answer to, a matchmaker, somebody who actually makes the card and makes the matches and can express that on television instead of the talent coming out to the ring and making their own matches. So if they dug their heel in, it would be a good idea. It would be an opportunity for more talent to come up and get on TV and get some national exposure, because a lot of people don't watch NXT. They didn't watch NXT when it was on the black and gold, when it was the black and gold brand. They definitely don't watch it now because it's terrible. So if they just stay true to their words and what they practice, what they preached, and follow through with it, what initially it was supposed to be, I think it'd be good for the talent. Now you're going to see more of the same thing you see now. If they decide to end it, it's just going to be the same talent, especially on top of the card, go back and forth, and that's all it's going to be.
Yeah. Fair point. Yeah, it's nothing really different. Yeah, they could. I think that's how they're getting away with it. Because there's nothing at stake, or there's no potential, because they're already doing it. They've already run everyone to the ground. Sure, it might get more exposure for certain people, but they literally, it's more apparent than ever that they literally pick and choose who they want, and then that's it. Like,
sure.
It's not the, remember the quote unquote how SmackDown was the land of opportunity. That was like just a buzzword, So yeah, sure, it could work. It should work, but it's not going to because they literally pick who they want, and that's it, and then release everyone else. What about you, Saul? What do you think? Do you think it's a good idea? Do you miss the brand split? Like, what's your thoughts?
I can't give a flying fuck about the brand split.
Yeah.
And there you have it, folks.
Like I haven't tuned into a WWE program for the last month or so. I canceled my subscription and everything. The only thing I get updated about WWE is just their highlight reels on Instagram. I really just don't give a fuck about the product at all. Because I feel like they don't even have this in the amount of roster to do a brand split properly. It's too cut thin. They've just released everybody, so now it's just basically every time I look on social media, it's Roman Reigns and the Bloodline, and it's the Usos always in the tag division. It's always this Bobby Lashley and Omos thing that feels like it's been going on for too long. And
Yes,
Becky and everything else, and it's just the same old shit.
And the reason why when they originally did the brand split for and I would say maybe for the first 3 or 4 years, maybe 5 years, it worked is because they had two separate individual creative teams for both brands. For a while, it was Paul Heyman was in charge of running SmackDown, and Stephanie McMahon, and then on the other side, I forget you had Brian Gewirtz and the gentleman who used to be the manager for the Great Khali. What was his name?
Oh, fuck.
I forgot, but that gentleman was also on the writing team on Raw. So you had two separate creative teams going. Here you're going to have the same creative team. And at the end, now that I think about it, it doesn't even really matter because all creative decisions go through Vince McMahon. So
yeah,
exactly. And as well, it doesn't feel like a battle. It used to back in the day, like Raw's battling SmackDown and all that. And then when Brock Lesnar was Raw's main champion, it didn't feel like, it's Raw for the SmackDown. It's just Roman Reigns and Roman Reigns and fucking Brock for the 16,000th time. It didn't feel like Raw was on the line, and now it's just like, it's just covering the same brand. It's basically just WWE. WWE's on Mondays and Fridays, and then NXT is doing its own little thing, wherever the fuck that is.
So, pretty much.
I mean, it can work, and it can work without the brand split too, just as long as they stick to their guns. And if they're gonna actually stay with this whole, now that they've unified the tag team titles this past a week or Friday night, if they stick to their guns, I mean, they can make that work too. Just have one set of tag team titles, one world champion, right? Maybe they'll get down to one mid-card title or what have you, or they want to keep the United States Intercontinental titles. That's fine. They can have that champion.
Speaking of that, which one do you get rid of, the US or the Intercontinental?
Well, I just think just going by the lineage alone, probably just keep the Intercontinental title. But I mean, they can keep the U.S. title. That has a long lineage going back to the NWA and WCW and so forth. So it's got some notoriety. I mean, not so much since it's been part of WWE, but I mean,
they don't mean shit now. Might as well
neither of them do.
No, but I mean, you can keep your mid-card title and have that champion exclusive to that brand if you want to play it that way. Anything can work. They just need to dig their heels in and stick with what they decide at the beginning and just go with it for better or for worse, and then try it for a year or two and then try something new. But they never stick to the brand split. Like I said, within a couple of weeks, months, it seems like for the past couple of years, they go back to reverting, just whipping talent, swapping talent back and forth. It doesn't work that way.
Same old shit.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I don't feel I can add anything else. We both made valid points and whatnot. They're just lazy.
Yeah.
They're just lazy.
Lazy booking
content. They've got enough backlog that they can just be like, hey, you can watch all this shit. We don't need to make new good shit because you'll just watch all the old shit because you're nostalgic as fuck.
Basically. Let me know your thoughts in the comments as well. What you think about the brand split? Do you think it's also do you think it's a good motive? Do you think it's going to make a difference? Me personally, I don't think it's going to make a difference. Just let me know your thoughts in the comments. Next up we are going to be talking about the Sasha and Naomi situation as I said. If you have been living under a rock, Sasha and Naomi pretty much, quote unquote, took their ball and went home after creative differences with regarding the WWE women's tag team championships. So last week on Monday, it was meant to be a 6-pack challenge where it was the champs, and it was Nikki Ash, Dewdrop, Becky Lynch, and
Naomi,
Asuka.
yeah, and Banks and Naomi in a 6-way.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. That was going to be the main event, and then midway through the show, they pretty much, not subtly, it was pretty like they did the backstage segment with Becky Lynch and Adam Pearce, and they said, yeah, probably they packed up and they went. So what's going to happen with the main event? Then it was switched to Becky Lynch and Asuka. Then obviously later down in the broadcast, I think it was that same broadcast that obviously Corey Graves said they were being unprofessional and they just walked out on us. They failed the WWE universe, all that kind of stuff. WWE put on a big old statement on their website, completely killing kayfabe, and even though it's not as if it's dead already. Then they ran it back again on SmackDown, saying that they let everyone down, all this kind of stuff. And yeah, I think they obviously reports were going on about that. Apparently, Naomi was going to be the one that was meant to win, and she was going to go and face Bianca Belair. But in order to do that, she was going to pin Sasha Banks, which apparently could have caused some friction and stuff. Sasha Banks didn't want that. She wanted to maybe work with Nikki Ash and Dewdrop and stuff, trying to elevate the tag team titles more. Didn't go through go through with it. So they left the titles at John Laurinaitis. John Laurinaitis' table, and basically just said they were going to leave.
Fucking power.
Huh?
Fucking people power, mate. Jesus.
People
Christ.
power. Drink some water, bro. Anyway, and yeah, that's where live on SmackDown, Michael Cole pretty much announced to the world that Sasha Banks and Naomi were suspended indefinitely and been stripped of the titles. Not part of the storyline, legit as hell. Really bizarre the way they're going on. It's almost childish in my opinion. A lot of people backstage and the community is on Sasha Banks and Naomi's side. But obviously management are saying, now fuck that. You guys, like, you fucked up the show. So, someone's got to pay for it, and then and yeah, that's where we pretty much are right now. Apparently, they're suspended indefinitely. There's absolutely no plans in place to bring them back creatively, or even just to even talk about, have meetings and whatnot. I believe Sasha Banks has 2 months on her contract, but there's talks about that they may freeze it. This is all rumored right now, so we'll see what happens. So they're looking to probably give her the Neville treatment. Naomi is a party. She was the one that was just riding Sasha Banks' coattails, and it's all over the place. It is really bizarre. I think this is even more crazier than when Steve Austin left, when he found out that he was going to face Brock Lesnar on free TV. Obviously Ignacio gave his 2-2s on it. I don't know if you might have extra stuff on it, but obviously you weren't here last time. What were your thoughts when you saw about this, and was your mind blown saying, nope, this is a work, or like as things developed? What are your thoughts on it? There we go.
You're probably wondering whose side I'm on. Who do I agree did the right move?
Yes, more importantly, yes, and your reasons why at the same time. Oh man, that's a perfect pint. Nice, very nice.
The perfect pourer.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I'm on WWE side.
Oh, okay. All right, please indulge. Please indulge.
So let's look at two situations here. Not Austin, but look at another wrestler, the best in the world. Look at CM Punk's walkout back in 2013.
Mm-hmm.
How they're different. I would agree with Punk on that side, but on this side, I agree with WWE. Punk walkout in 2013 at a Raw show. Fuck's sake. But Punk wasn't advertised for it. It was early much at the start of the show. He wasn't advertised. He walked in, said he was done, and he left. Naomi and Banks were advertised for the show, and the show had already started.
Right.
They get paid millions to do this. Some people don't. Some people are just happy to have the opportunity to be doing a dark match at the Fed. And they had a wee temper tantrum, just said, nah, we're not doing it, and then left. I understand if you're frustrated and there's not something you want to do, you don't have to work there. Go somewhere else. There's other opportunities in the world. You don't have to just stay there. If you were really unhappy with your booking decision and not what you were wanting to do, then, actually speak up and just say, hey, I'm done. Fuck this. I don't want to be here anymore. If I'm getting booked like shit, I'm not happy with my position in the company, then I'll be gone. It's like people in the locker room were saying that Sasha Banks is just a bit of a drama queen. I can fully understand that, And Naomi is obviously, Banks is the bigger of the two. She's just riding on Banks' coattails just to do what she needs to do, stick with the bigger star. That's fine. But, even as a superstar yourself, you would look at the WWE Women's Tag Division and you'd be like, that can't be saved. I'm sorry, it can't be saved. You're thinking, we're going to elevate this division and make it good. With fucking who? They said they're going to do a tournament to crown new tag champs. With fucking who?
Exactly. I looked at it and I was just like, the only legit tag team right now is Nikki ASH and Doudrop.
Exactly. You might as well just fucking hand the belt to them and be like, here's your new paperweights. Go and do what you want with them.
They're gonna reunite Selena Vega and Carmella. Just they squash their beef. Freaking squash the beef between Liv Morgan and Liv Morgan's gonna join the Judgment Day. Then team up with Rhea Ripley.
I agree with what WWE did. You might as well just suspend them and pull their merch. You're not going to let a talent basically trying to dictate what they can and can't do. They get paid to work. They don't get paid to make their own booking. They don't get paid to make themselves the star of the show. They get paid by the company to do work for the company, not for them. WWE pulled all their merch, pulled their advertising, pulled them from openings of shows. Fair point. That's what you got to do. You got to make sure your talent understand, hey, you work for us. You don't work for yourself. You are doing stuff that represent the whole company as a whole, for advertisers, for stockholders, for everything. You work for us. That's business.
I mean, yeah, I do see there is valid points on both sides. I'm a cop out and say I'm pretty much in the middle. I mean, I see both points on both sides. Not everyone has the opportunity to actually has the privilege to just put their titles on the table and just walk out. People they should be privileged. If that's the word right term. You should be.
Imagine if an NXT person just went, hey, here's my title, I'm just going to go home. They just be like, all right, here's your 30 days, fuck off. It's just, Banks and Naomi's know they can be like, oh, they can't touch us, they can't really do anything. We'll try and get our own way. And I understand, hey, if you're frustrated, do the show, just do the show. And then at the end, be like, here, that's when don't just do it halfway like a drama.
I mean,
people have probably paid just to maybe see them and they get fucked over.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, you got to think about the people. No, I understand that. Obviously, I see it from obviously the wrestler's perspective, especially Sasha Banks. Like, I think I may have mentioned it in the last episode. When you count up her accolades and stuff, like she is practically the female version of Roman Reigns. Like, but it doesn't get presented to you, kind of thing. And I can see that, and I guess that's what just added that. I think this was like the straw that broke the camel's back. She came up with different alternatives, and they all shut them down. They really wanted to somehow cause discourse within, this team, which just got to just banded together and won the championships.
And what about all the other women on the roster, Xia Li, and all these other people that are on the main roster who are not given a shot, who could have used that 6 women shot to elevate themselves, but no, obviously Banks and Naomi were put in there because they're stars. You do the job, finish the thing. If you're not happy, then voice your concerns. Just don't halfway through the show try and pull your own fucking weight around that like a big shite.
Yeah, no, I hear that. I get what you mean.
People may be triggered. The Sasha stands might come for me with their pitchforks and raise their arms ye high from their mother's basements. I don't give a fuck. That's business. It's not fun. Sorry.
Fair play. Anything you want to add to that, Ignacio?
Yeah, it's back and forth, but it's just It's kind of well, they said they were unprofessional, and yes, probably it was what they did. But it's just like if they would have went on with the match, they just wouldn't have showed up to SmackDown on Friday. So it's the same thing. It's unprofessional. That's unprofessional. What else could they have done to get their message across? I say at first, I said good on Sasha Banks and Naomi. She probably did it because she thinks she has probably more pull than what she actually has with her relationship with the Jimmy Uso and Roman Reigns or whatever. And Sasha has it because she's a star compared to kind of like how you mentioned like Roman Reigns. That was a good analogy, but good on them because that's the only way that people that they're gonna
good on them. We get paid fucking millions for this.
Probably wake up. Well, hold on. Probably wake up, and so WWE could stop writing and booking this trash that we see on Monday, Tuesday, and every other day and Friday nights. If more people did what Sasha Banks did, then we would have, if more wrestlers did what Sasha Banks did, maybe things would get better. If you remember, so in the mid '90s, WWE stagnated, right? With not even stagnated, it's stagnating now. In the mid '90s, I mean, wrestling was down. It was that's when you had Doink the Clown and
the new generation era,
TV, and the world champion was a fucking trucker, a Diesel, all that stuff. It was downhill. It's stagnating now, and I believe eventually will go downhill because everybody talks about the ratings. Look at the ratings. The ratings aren't going up. They're stagnating. They're going to do this and then go down. Why? Because of bad creative, bad storytelling, bad writing, bad booking. So something has to change. So, if nobody wants to drop their balls or whatever, and it takes Sasha Banks to at least to do something to have these people wake up and say, hey, this shit that you're giving us, say what you want about the women's tag team title. Yes, it's not really a division or what have you. Basically, they gave Sasha the tag team titles because supposedly she was supposed to main event WrestleMania with Charlotte Flair. That might have been what they told her 6-9 months ago, and then they bring in Ronda Rousey. Well, now she feels that, well, you brought in Ronda Rousey to take my spot because you don't have the confidence in me to main event WrestleMania with Charlotte Flair. You think you need an attraction. Okay, so they give her the tag team titles, which is a bullshit title. I agree with that to kind of elevate it or put her in a spot where she feels she can elevate it, make her feel special. And now they did this booking that made no fucking sense whatsoever, and her contract is coming around. So she's thinking, you had me 9 months ago, a year ago, whatever, telling me that you were going to book me at WrestleMania with Charlotte Flair. Then you bring in Ronda Rousey, right, to take my spot. Then you give me the tag team titles and then try to make me feel like I can elevate this title. But then this bullshit booking, it makes me think I'm dropping further down the card. My contract is coming up. So that is telling me that I'm not worth to you what I was 12 months ago.
Okay, I'll say that. I'm going to say
that's a big part of it. A big part of it is the money.
Okay.
The other part of it is the bullshit booking. And if more people did it, maybe they would wake up. That's all I'm saying.
All right. Let's look at this point. Let's say I'm Vince, all right? And I've just found out that two talent have basically took their balls and went home during the middle of a show. They've had a wee little thing, and now I've had to change the card on the floor. And then this is probably going to lead another rebellion in the locker room. I would stomp that shit out the fucking second it is lit. I would freeze their contracts. They've pulled all their merch. They're not going to get incentive from all that. And it shows an incentive to the talent in the locker room. Hey, you do not pull this shit or you're gone. I mean, honestly, I think Ronda Rousey's a bigger star than Sasha.
Oof. Okay. Triggers.
If you want to look at the casual market, Ronda's bigger than Sasha. More casual people from the UFC days know Ronda. Ronda was the first women's UFC champion. She's done all these accolades as well.
Yeah.
Did she get her arse kicked by that Holly lassie? Aye. And did she get kicked again and that was funny? Correct. But she's still bigger with the casual market. I think wrestling also as well is stagnated. It's never going to get the 4 and 5 points on the ratings that it was in the 90s because people have got other shit to look at, streaming and all that and other good shows. Wrestling is a niche. Wrestling is a niche. It's a niche. I'm sorry. Wrestling is a niche. It's never going to hit the ceilings of the old days when people would sit around the TVs and watch stuff. People travel now. People are more dedicated to their jobs. Families are starting younger. There's other things, just better shows, better stuff. It's not, people know it's fake. I know that's a fucking triple word in the environment, but it is. I always like to say it's pantomime. It's a nice form of theater. And it's good. Yeah. Great stories can come of it, but it's not the big thing it was. I love AEW. To me, I'll say this right now, AEW is wrestling to me. I don't have a commitment to the Attitude Era. I don't have a commitment to the adjustment era, fucking ruthless aggression area. That's not wrestling to me. AEW is wrestling to me, and I want AEW to succeed and be the best thing ever it can be, which I think it is doing great stuff just now, but it's never going to get the 2 million ratings, the 3 million ratings that people think it's going to get. Wrestling is niche, and with Sasha Banks and Naomi, just let them go, and if they want to try and be the stars they can go to another company and be the stars. If Impact hires Sasha Banks, she's immediately going to get thrown into the knockouts division and be like the winner and all that, and just hold the belt, and she'll be like the biggest thing in there. Let her do that, and if she wants to do that, she can. If not, she could just be like The Rock and go to Hollywood. She was in The Mandalorian, one of the biggest Star Wars things to come out ever since the Disney acquisition. Let her do that. If she wants to do that and earn a living that way as a movie star, fine. She doesn't need wrestling.
Can I respond to that real quick?
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Go.
Okay. Yeah. So, look, of course they had to send the office the management had to send the message, and that's all good and well, right? Again, I agree with you. They don't want a revolt on their hands, but if people at Sasha Banks' status spoke up more, which they probably don't, right? Roman Reigns doesn't have a problem with anything, but like of Randy Orton. I'm not saying Randy Orton is perceived as a locker room leader. I don't know if he really is or not. It seems like he would have people's ear there. If more people spoke up, not necessarily in the fashion that Sasha Banks did, I think things would change a lot quicker than we would hope. Now, this thing, how there's more content out there, there's more things to digest. Man, you're going to really make me hate myself for a minute for trying to revert or go back to what somebody who is well known and also despised in the wrestling industry, bro.
Oh, him.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Vince Russo. First of all, okay, this whole thing as far as content and DVR and all this stuff, dude, we had VHS tapes back then. We can tape Raw or whatever and then watch it. Okay, so that's the bullshit excuse. Second of all, so if the content is good, bro, if the content is good, they'll watch it. So here in the States, maybe they show it globally, but we got America's Got Talent, and we had American Idol, and we got that bullshit Masked Singer show where celebrities come out dressed like goofs and sing. Everybody tries to guess who they are. Yeah. 4, 5, 6, 7 million people watch this bullshit. Why? Because, bro, if it's good, they'll watch it. Wrestling's not a niche. It's just not good. That's why more people aren't watching it. If the booking changes, if the writing changes, if it's good, people will watch. If it's good, just like it was in the Attitude Era and in between, at least the top of the card stuff, then when I get home from work Monday night, I'm going to make sure that I'm sitting down on the couch by 7 o'clock with my favorite drink, dinner on the table, or what have you in my snack, and I'm watching Monday Night Raw live. If it's good, they'll watch it. And I hate to agree with Russo, but he's 100%. He's 100% right.
I'm sorry.
Wait. So are you saying that wrestling needs Vince Russo back there, basically?
No, but wrestling needs something to make it good again. I'm just trying to say that, everybody says, well, wrestling is a form of entertainment. Okay, well, look at all the entertainment shows out there that are getting 4, 5, 6 million viewers every time live during its live broadcast. Wrestling can be that way. It's just not good. It's not that it's niche. It's just not good right now.
I think for me, I see what you mean. I think it's just the way of the what's the word I'm looking for. It's the way of how there's phases with people that watch like stuff. Obviously, yeah, there was the wrestling era. At one point, there was freaking like Real World and Big Brother and all that kind of stuff. There was that era. Then there was obviously reality TV era. Now there's a streaming era kind of thing. So I think there's also you also got to take in the fact that uh, the major the major of the population go through these phases of what is hot and what's not kind of thing. And then yeah, so I think it's like a cycle. Like you said, there was the new generation era. No, let's go even further back. When it was the golden era,
Uh-huh.
wrestling was popping. Went to golden new generation era, wrestling declined. Attitude era started, went back up again. Ruthless aggression, it was a hit and miss. Now that the PG era, there's been a steady decline. So I think it's just a cycle. I mean, you're right. It can get good. It can get much better because there's. I feel like that. Obviously, there are some people that likes the product. Like I remember Triple H said it at CM Punk. I never forget the segment. It was just like, you think people hate wrestling right now. There's some people out here that actually love the product, no matter how like could things change. Yeah, maybe, but the general consensus is that people like it. I feel like you gotta take in mind taking the fact that yeah, like it can get better. It just hasn't come to that time yet for wrestling to be cooler, and obviously
Mhm.
people will have different ways of watching it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Um, I think I made sense there. I don't know if you guys agree with that, but yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I feel like I do agree that also that I don't think that wrestling will ever hit X Factor numbers or mass singer numbers. That would be completely mind blowing. You would need to have almost the same type of star power as when there was Triple H, Taker, Kane, Rock, Austin.
Well, it can. It can if they make stars. They don't.
Uh,
They don't know how to make stars anymore.
Because
If
that I
you
do
people know
agree.
it's
put
They
not
people
don't.
in
real
there,
now.
they
Back
can
then,
they can
everyone
make.
was just like, "This is the real shit. These are actual real stuff." No, it's too open now. People know this shit. They can just go on Google and be
But
like,
I also think so. I also think I think that back then during the Attitude Era, Vince was one of the most luckiest people in the world because he had a lot of people that just relied on charisma and their characters. Whereas if you watch all the matches back then, like Raw is Raw and Raw is War and all that kind of most matches lasted about 2-3 minutes. They
Mhm.
weren't long. They all relied on their personality, their promos, their just their character. Whereas now there's more people that are it's the other way around. There's more people that's good on this. They rely on their not physique but fitness and their endurance and all that stuff. But their personality is as bland as a plank of wood. Like people like Ricochet, Natalia. They're great, but they can't carry a show. That's why it's kind of hard to develop stars because they're agile, they're great, they can last 60 minutes, an hour and a half, but there's nothing there. Whereas back then it was to the brim of people they weren't that interesting in the ring, but you were excited to see the next segment they were in, or you see what I mean. So you gotta take that into its perspective, I think. uh Anything else?
But they had okay.
No.
One more thing. You're
Yeah,
saying they had the talent. WWE. If we're talking about WWE specifically, they had the talent. They just let it go.
that
You're
too. Yeah.
you can't tell me with Brian Danielson and John Moxley and the beloved Keith Lee that everybody masturbates to because they think he has so much charisma. With FTR and all these guys, you don't think
No,
if they just had somebody that actually knew what to do with these people that the ratings wouldn't reflect it.
no, I agree.
That
There's plenty of people they've dropped the ball with. I totally agree with that. And for some reason, they keep people like Omos and all them kind of people. I totally get it. But so there is obviously a fault on their part. Um, but yeah, I do feel like there is a cycle. Whereas
sure.
maybe who knows? Maybe if they actually did keep all those people, I'm not saying they will hit 8 million, 9 million type of viewers, but the product could be better, and if they were treated better. But it's mad. It's mad. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
I guess we're gonna have to agree to disagree on this one.
Yeah, I think it's clear as rain. Disagree because we went.
I'll say with one final point: if you still watch WWE now, you're just nostalgia blind. If you actually want good wrestling, watch AEW.
Yeah, no, 110%. Like, it is. We've definitely been brainwashed because obviously they've been around for so long, and we're just to the point where okay, this week was shit. Maybe next week might be good. You know, you're always holding out because they're just so jammy like that. Sometimes they might have a good, like someone might show up, or it might be a good, good show. So I totally get that. No, I totally get that. Cool. So let's just finish off with of course our friend Ignacio went to AEW Dynamite last week. Where was it?
Houston, Texas.
Houston, Texas. Yes. Pretty decent show, I must say. Dynamite was good. I ain't gonna lie, I didn't see Rampage. All I saw was the most talking point of it. But which we'll get into at the end. But how was the atmosphere? What was the show like? How did you find it? Both Rampage and Dynamite.
Well, just right off the bat, in regards to the incident that you highlighted over, kind of went over. I actually wasn't there for that. I left during the first. I had to go during the first match of Rampage, so I wasn't there for the.
Oh my god, you did watch Rampage?
The Daniel Bryan debacle.
Yeah, yeah. That was
But so a lot of these things on this show, while I was watching it, just made me think that why that AEW just doesn't have the momentum that it had. It's losing momentum, and this show, in my opinion, highlighted that. We start off with the first match with Samoa Joe, and I'll try to be as brief as I can. I'll only pick out the parts that I had strong feelings for. So we start off with the first match with Joe and John Morrison, and I couldn't be more disappointed that it was John Morrison or Johnny Nitro or Johnny Impact or Johnny fucking Game Changer or Johnny Elite or whatever, whoever he is this week, right? He's a good worker. He can work, and I'm talking about other doing the flip flop and fly shit, which he tried to do, and he botched maybe at least 3 times during the match.
Yeah.
It wasn't good. It didn't look good. It made him look bad. It looked Joe look bad. It looked the Owen Hart tournament look bad, which in my opinion, they were able to lock down Dr. Martha Hart and her family agreeing to this shit, having nothing to do with wrestling for the past 25 years or so since Owen passed away. They needed to be putting their best foot forward, and I don't think this is a way to do it. Then let's go to the other Owen Hart. The other Owen Hart classic foundation match with Dr. Britt Baker. So no Ember Moon, no Deonna Purrazzo, no Tyler Valkyrie, no Chelsea Green, no, not even Peyton Royce or Mia Yim. We get Hashi Ito, or what's her name?
Maki Ito.
Maki Ito.
You uncultured swine.
Maki Ito.
Chaos, this is it. The Americans, they all think it's about them. They all think it's always about North America. There's no other countries. It's all about them and their little centralized little shit.
This was embarrassing. It was humiliating. It was degrading. They couldn't get Sheeta to come in. I know she had some issues,
she's in Japan.
Or what have you. Dude.
You suspect Tony Khan just sniffs a line of coke and a White Claw down, and he's just like, "Bring out the teleport."
I don't know what they could have done. Anything would have been better than this. Say what you want. It's just
except all the people cheering and it's like having fun.
That's what, dude. Nobody was cheering. No. Nobody was cheering for 3 seconds, maybe. This was awful and embarrassing. Another thing, and this is the last thing that I'll highlight, that was just off the rails bad, was this face-to-face, which they never got face-to-face with William Regal and Chris Jericho. Yes, I'm hating on another Chris Jericho segment. I'm going to try not to use 4-letter words because I hope Ben decides to put this on Instagram. So you got on one side, you got Bryan Danielson, who should be the number one. He is the number one wrestler in the business, but should be the number one heel in the business with the AEW world title right now. You got Jon Moxley, who should be in garbage championship wrestling Matt Cardona for the Outlaw BS wrestling heavyweight title in the world. I wish he would just go away. You got Wheeler Yuta, who is a legitimate star and has the potential to be a legitimate star, who is a legitimate shooter, who has great wrestling talent. With William Regal could be great. He should be in the Owen Hart tournament right now, and if they were serious about making him a star, he would win it. I like Samoa Joe. I think Samoa Joe is going to win it, and I like Samoa Joe, but if they were serious about building stars, that's what we do. Then we got Santana Ortiz. I like Santana Ortiz, but they haven't tag teamed together. I'm talking about in an actual tag team match in how long? And they should probably be in contention for the tag team titles with FTR. Then we got Eddie Kingston. Then we got, hold on, one more second. Then we got Eddie Kingston, who he didn't want to have anything to do with this. He's in the corner pouting, trying to ignore whatever is going on. Eddie Kingston should not be anywhere near this or Chris Jericho. And then just blanket Chris Jericho's statement about him and his band of misfits, they should be banned from wrestling. And none of those people should have anything to do with wrestling or sports entertainment or whatever you want. It should be a war crime to replay that segment because it was awful. It is everything that is wrong with professional wrestling today. That segment alone. I hope every streaming platform takes it off. It's bad.
So, Soul, would you care to counter, please?
Right,
I love this. This is why we call it Take It to the Table, guys.
Here. Like, Ignacio, do you think AEW has built any stars at all?
Come again?
Do you think AEW has built any stars?
I think they're trying. They're trying.
I'm going to give you something I think they've built properly. Darby Allin, Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, Dr. Bricker, DMD, I think they've also built as well. I also think they've built Ricky Starks up pretty well. Hook is built excellently. I think Hook's doing great stuff right now. John Silver, didn't know who he was until AEW, and he's now loved. His merch selling well. Excellent. Eddie Kingston, look at him. Nobody knew who he was until he came for the TNT Challenge, and now he's absolutely loved and cheered throughout the goddamn building.
I agree.
Wheeler Yuta. Nobody knew who Wheeler Yuta was.
I agree.
I agree with that, but I'm saying they have built stars. There are great people there. Good, we agree on that. But I will say, just like about the John Morrison, John Hennigan, it was fine match. I think you're just being way too critical.
Am I?
Yes.
Chaos, am I? Am I standing alone here? It's just.
I mean,
am I just shouting at clouds?
I totally agree.
I'm the old man shouting at clouds.
No. Well, first off, I was disappointed. I was hoping it was Johnny Wrestling, but when the match happened, there was definitely the chemistry wasn't there. There was plenty of times. I think there was one bit where Joe was outside, and you can blatantly see Johnny basically say, "Yo, move over this way, so I can, so I don't look like an ass." And he still messed up the move. So the chemistry wasn't there. I think it could have been better. It was decent. It could have been a lot better, but I just don't think they mesh well. I don't know what was said between each other backstage, but they just didn't gel. It was
now
really,
I'm going to jump on something you said, Chaos, you man in the South, right? Because listen here, everyone was like, "Oh, it's going to be Johnny Organo. I want Johnny Organo. I want Cesaro." Wrestling fans are too greedy.
Oh,
They're too greedy. They want, because they know AEW is the best damn product. And you down in England are like, "Yes, I want a Johnny Gargano. This is going to be great." No, look, listen here. Everyone is too greedy because they know AEW is the best product and they want all the best. They all want the favorites and they want all the best people to come to the best company. Look, listen here. Not everyone's going to get a shot in the big company because you know what's happened? It's going to be like shit with Leo Rush is going to come in for 2 months and then say F off and have a wee cry and then be like, nah, I'm going to go be a music star. When's his music coming out? I've not heard anything or seen anything. Whoop-de-doo. It will be a bargain bin thing at HMV for £1 in the buck. Whoop-de-doo. Nobody's going to give a just calm down every time a wrestler gets released. Like with Sasha Banks and everyone's like, oh, Mercedes, whatever her second name is going to be All Elite now. Naomi's going to be All Elite now. It's like, yeah, I know it's the best company. It's the only true one wrestling company. They don't have to go there. Let them. If they don't want to do that, let them go do Hollywood. They don't want to be a wrestler, but they want to go to the biggest company. Just let them go.
To be fair, I wouldn't want them. I wouldn't want to see them in AEW. To be honest,
neither would I.
They're too WWE. Like that's the product of WWE. I couldn't imagine it anywhere else. Yeah, I hate the fact that as soon as someone releases, they should automatically go to AEW, and then when they do go to AEW, it was like, oh, AEW is basically TNA. They're buying up all WWE stock, all this kind of stuff, and it's just like, you're right. Like the perfect word is fickle. They're too fussy. They're too fickle. And then once you get it,
they are so fucking fickle. But I like what AEW does with bringing in Maki Ito. It brings other wrestlers from around the world, not just the fucking Yankee Doodle states.
Yeah, I mean, I understand it's not to everyone's taste. I know is it Joshi? Is it Joshi style?
Joshi style wrestling.
Yeah. And it's definitely not everyone's taste. I remember when I first saw it back. I think it was like the first pay-per-view. I think it was
Revolution. Maki Ito came in again. Yeah, Maki
it was like a battle royal.
That was Emi Sakura and Yuya Sakazaki.
There was definitely a battle royal, and I'll never forget it was a botched ending. But and they had all these wrestlers from and there was Kong. I think that Kong.
That's All Out. That was All Out 2019.
Right. Yeah. When I saw that happen for the first time, I was like, okay, what is this? Like, I don't understand it. I don't get it. But it's somehow over. People actually knew who she was. I didn't like me personally. The match with Britt Baker, even I agree. I didn't really enjoy it. It kind of, for me, it looks like they're making fun of professional wrestling, but there is a space, or it's a niche, like you said, it's a niche. It's for some people that's out there. I just didn't think it worked well for Britt Baker. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, there's a ton of
something you say that obviously Britt Baker was going to win. What do you have? Do you have Athena come in and then lose on her debut, and then everyone gets all a little pissy about it and has a wee little cry in the corner?
Okay, so it was obvious. Well, at least this is what I thought. And this is the only reason why I was kind of forgiving about the whole Johnny Elite thing, was because it's only going to be a one-time deal. So it's only one match, right? So same thing. Whoever was going to come in for to face Britt Baker was probably going to be only a one-time thing because they were going to lose. But I still would have wanted somebody better. Jesus Christ! I mean.
Well, why would you waste that? Why would you waste something like that on a random episode of TV?
It was awful.
Well, you can always just stop watching. You know, you don't have to watch it. Nobody's firing a gun to your head.
I have to watch so I can come do the show.
Hey, I don't want
to tell everybody the way it should be.
Hey, honestly, I'll put on universe mode and I probably get as much entertainment from an episode of Raw.
Yeah, probably.
Oh yeah, you probably would. I don't disagree with you there. I think it's, for me personally, I think for the past 4 weeks, I go halfway through an episode of Raw and I just don't bother watching the rest. It's really bad. Anyway,
honestly, just better just watching the highlights on YouTube.
I'm gonna have to start doing that. I've never been a person to do that, but I think I might have to start doing that for sure. But yeah, so we're going back to the episode of Dynamite. So those were your gripes of the show then. But other than that, was you fine with with the Wardlow segment, and everything else? Was that fine for you?
Wardlow segment was great. I think the Wardlow deal was probably the best thing on the show.
Okay.
Probably, yeah. Match worthy. I mean, I guess you could say. Oh man, it's just.
Wait, what was on
Hangman and Hangman Page and
Koshosuke Tanahashi or Takashi
correct
or something like that.
Or Tashida.
Tashida, yeah, and then wasn't Kyle O'Reilly and Ray Phoenix on that?
Yes,
Kyle O'Reilly and Ray Phoenix. So Ray Phoenix match. That's when I got up to go get a drink, popcorn, take a dump, and all that stuff because I didn't want to see
that match. Oh, come on, for fuck's sake!
But Hangman did have a tremendous match with I can't pronounce it. I'm not going to even try. But I like him. I know he wrestles with a Mud Show, Japan Pro Wrestling, whatever that where he's coming from. I wish maybe AEW could probably sign him. He looks good. He can sell. He looks like he can sell. He's got facials, the good look. Maybe there's something they can do with him. And talking about, what do you mean? I would like to have seen Samoa Joe if we want to go with foreign talent. I mean, they have this relationship with New Japan. I mean, where's Sonata or Zack Sabre Jr. or
they're probably saving that for Forbidden Door.
You know what I mean?
Forbidden Door.
Yeah, Forbidden Door. I think they're saving that for Forbidden Door. Watch, they're going to start coming out during after in Double or Nothing. Probably at the end of Double or Nothing.
Watch it. Probably. I'm saying it right now, and I will put money on this. I will go alcohol free for a year if this doesn't happen. I'm saying it right now. CM Punk is going to win at Sunday. Lights go out. Kenta hits him with the GTS. Sets up Forbidden Door.
I would love to see that. Yes, CM Punk and Kenta. Yeah, I'm down for that. Yeah.
Now, why are we speaking on that? I want to theorize my next 4 AW champions right now because I feel I've got a good shot on this. It's going to be CM Punk. CM Punk will turn heel during it. Eddie Kingston will beat Punk for the title. MJF will take the title off Eddie Kingston, and then Darby Allin will take it off MJF.
Oh, Darby Allin. So that's 3 out of the 4 pillars that has won the title. Okay.
Because you look at that story-wise, Punk has always just been dissing Eddie Kingston. No matter what chance he gets, Twitter, everything. That's fine. That works well. MJF beating Eddie, that's a glorified babyface being taken off by the biggest heel in the company. And MJF deserves it. Well done. Darby, it also redeems Darby's loss at Full Gear 2020 when he got that, roll-up win against him by MJF. Works story well-wise. It works. It just works.
I like it. I really like it. Yeah. Do you agree with that, Ignacio?
No, man, I don't think that far ahead. I just think that probably around that time I think Punk's going to win the title on Sunday, but I think coming around to seems like the champions, whoever's had the titles had somewhat of a lengthy title. I think Omega probably had the longest, right? So I think Punk's going to have a lengthy title run, and then right around that time it's gonna be probably MJF contract time. So they'll probably give him the top spot and throw him some money.
So that would make sense. That would be cool as well. Like that would make sense, obviously, because that's similar to when CM Punk had this contract situation. And he signed just before he won titles against John Cena. So they could work that into type of clearly they're working into like this contract situation with MJF. And so that would be very, very interesting.
If Punk wins
Fair enough. I'm still envious of you with that.
Yeah, it's a fucking beauty, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Wow. I think we've had a lot to get off our chest with this one. This is pretty much the most diverse episode, I must say, I've taken to the table. I think this is it's pretty good. Pretty good.
I already know some debatable topics we can say next time, and then one I'll say right now is I think Vince Russo was a god for wrestling in the 90s.
Who? Come again? Vince Russo? What?
I think Vince Russo was good for wrestling in the 90s.
I mean, look, a lot of people shit on Russo. I'm not, he did some. He did make the Attitude Era. Yeah, he gave everybody something to do. He did some good things. I won't shit totally on Russo, but I mean, at the same time, he was bad for wrestling. It was the catalyst for what wrestling booking and writing is today, and that's bad.
Yeah, he was the catalyst for Attitude Era, but he also was the downfall of both WCW and TNA. That's it.
I also think what's his name? Eric Bischoff was also a factor in that as well.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on Bischoff. I got to go, so you don't want to get me started on Bischoff.
We'll save that for next time for sure. Definitely, I want to hear your 2 twos on that for sure. Because that's another guy. Looks like you have a quiet beef with a lot of former WCW stars. I've noticed. that's Bischoff. Freaking.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, Bischoff,
Yeah.
Jericho. Flipping, who else? Goldberg, maybe? Do you have beef with Goldberg?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I
You have
hate
beef with a lot of
Goldberg.
WCW people.
I met Goldberg at WrestleMania weekend at WrestleMania Access. I told him that you need to give Bret Hart $1 million for ruining his career.
Oh God! How did you not jackhammer your?
It looked like he wanted. I'll send you guys the picture later. I have the picture the way he looked at me.
Is it just gonna be Goldberg looking at you?
We did a photo op
saying this shit to me.
Wow, fair enough. Well, yeah. On that glorious note, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of this episode of Take It to the Table. Please make sure you leave your thoughts on the comments about obviously what you think about the Sasha and Naomi situation. Do you think they were in the right or in the wrong? Do you think that Jericho is a soul-sucking leech?
You know what? Wait. Hold on. Let's end this on a mysterious note.
Cool.
How about, because we've all been nice here and everyone's been good. Everyone's been good. Ignacio, bad boy. I will tease the next 3 guests of the Soul Session for you right now. Because
yes. Promo right now.
So the first guest coming up is someone who's been a part of Control Your Narrative. I won't say who, but somebody.
Okay.
Gotta
love Control Your Narrative.
Another person is someone who had their AEW Dark debut this week. So I won't say who that was. That's nice.
Okay.
And another person is a 22-year-old wrestler who just started out last year.
For a second, I thought he was going to say 22-year-old piece of gold himself. Like I thought he was going to say Leo Rush, but fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, cool.
Right.
So we got 3 wrestlers lined up that's going to be on the Soul Sessions. Make sure you go check that out on Wrestling Republic, ladies and gentlemen. Also, on my side as well, we are going to be, I don't know if you saw the end of the last episode I did with Ignacio, but we're going to start a new show called Let's Play WWE 2K22. That's the first episode is going to be me versus, of course, Soul. We got other episodes coming out with Mr. Rhymes, Rides, Matthew, maybe even the owner, Ben. You might see him jump on there. You never know. But yeah, that's gonna be
as soon as they take the table championships around my waist, everything's right in the world.
Well, right now your record's not looking too good, bub. But if you want to know what I mean, please go check it out. It's gonna be uploaded either tomorrow or Friday the latest. So yeah, be sure to check that out on Wrestling Republic channel. I'm pretty sure, Ignacio, you're gonna start doing your shoots as well on Instagram, I believe. Is that correct?
Yeah, correct. Yeah. I did a couple already, and then I'm gonna work on a couple. Try to work on a couple. I'm not gonna be in town this weekend or in my home base, but I'm gonna try to get some done when I'm down visiting family down south where I'm from in McAllen, Texas. So I want to do 3-4 at a time. That way we can just kind of pump them out at 1 a week, 2 a week. I don't know how many Ben wants to do a week, but that'll be coming up. And of course, I'll try to. I want to make weekly appearances on Take It to the Table because you guys need me here. You guys need me to tell you how it is.
Yeah. We need the controversy flipping. Hell, yeah. Okay. I can't wait to see the comments when I put.
Oh, I'm sure I could be more controversial.
I'm sure you could as well. Both. This is what we need. This is what we're here for. To be more edgier than the other YouTube channels and all that whatnot. Right. This is what we're here for. But of course, as always, I have been your host, Chaos. He has been Soul. Down below has been Ignacio, Meat Man. Until next time.
He does love the Young Bucks. He's doing their pose.
Oh fuck.
Until next time, guys. Peace. Oh, before I forget, need to tell you guys about what's going to happen with the future of Take It to the Table. Now we're going to be starting a new show called Take It to the Table. No, it's not. It's called Let's Take It to WWE 2K22. The name of the game is in there. So yeah, we're going to be doing Let's Plays with myself, Mr. Rhymes, Soul, Rides, Matthew. We're all going to be chopping it up down there. We're going to be doing tournaments, crazy custom matches. We're going to be fighting over the Take It to the Table championship. But yeah, we're gonna be doing all that kind of stuff. Actually, I'm gonna show you a little snippet of an episode with me and Soul chopping it up right now. Go check this out.
Power that air conditioner. Oh my God!
Yeah.
Come on.
I'm gonna kill this turnbuckle.
What are you doing? Fucking damn. Okay, my guy is actually glitched. I can't actually fucking. I'm pressing the thing to set it up.
So I don't get to lose, right?
Alright, would you be a darling and please set up the letter? Oh, thank you very much. Oh my God! What, Riddle?
What the fuck?
So yeah, be sure not to miss those episodes. So yeah, we're gonna be going all out on this kind of stuff. So yeah, be sure to check us out. That won't be too long. Should be in the next few days or so. But of course, make sure you have your notifications on, and of course, subscribed to the Wrestling Republic channel. But yeah, as I said, I have been your host Chaos. This has been Take It to the Table. Until next time, guys. Peace.